Well, let me say a special and hearty good morning to one and all, especially our listeners this morning. Those of you via Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Good Tuesday morning. It's the 16th day of January. Also, those of you viewing GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channel 20, good morning to you also. Welcome to our social media audience. Those of you via social media platform, like the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, good morning to you. Welcome, and certainly nice to have you with us this morning. It's a blessing as always to have you here on To The Point. It's Opposition Tuesday here on To The Point this morning, and representing the new National Party, that's the opposition party here in Grenada, we have Senator Norland with us this morning, and he will be coming around with us shortly. Good morning to those of you who are driving along our nation's roads. I know the weather condition out there, so take it easy to drive along. Be a defensive driver, drive with all the precaution that you can. You know the roads, when you're wet, your friction is reduced a whole lot, so I encourage you, look out for the pedestrians who are also who may be walking along the road this morning, and sometimes there are little pools of water from time to time in certain areas that sometimes it's unavoidable as you as a driver, so maybe you could really slow down and take it easy as you go through them, not wetting anyone as you go on through. Let's get set to go over to our guest. So let's say good morning to Senator Norland Cox. Good morning, Senator Cox. How are you this morning? Hopefully we didn't get a bit disconnected there for a wee bit. Anyway, folks, as soon as we may regain that connection with Senator Norland Cox, who's over there in Carriacou, he's coming to us via virtually this morning, and we're certainly going to regain that. We're probably going to take a short break and get that connection re-established, and we'll be right back with you. Stay with us here on To The Point. Don't you dare touch your dial here on the Classic Radio GBN TV. Let's take that break, and we come in right back. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Apology for that short break there. We had to re-establish that connection there with Senator Norland Cox. And we go over and say good morning to Senator Cox. Good morning, and should I say Happy New Year to you, sir? Good morning, and how are you doing this morning?
Pleasant morning, GT, and of course, Happy New Year. I think this is our first engagement with GB and also with you for 2024.
So true.
I'm doing great. Some lovely weather. We've been receiving some rains for the past couple of hours. So This is welcoming weather for Carriacou at this time of the year. So I'm doing good.
How is Carriacou this morning, sir, if may I ask?
Very wet. Very wet, which is good. This is January. This is unusual but welcome weather for Carriacou at this time of the year.
All right. Thinking about Carriacou, let's kick off our conversation this morning about the sister isle of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. From an opposition point of view, how are things inside of Carriacou from an opposition point of view? Are there any concerns that you may want to speak of, or something great is happening that you may want to speak of? Also, give some kudos to the government or the sort, if you could like to do that this morning. Let's get a conversation going about the sister isle of Carriacou this morning.
Okay, well, I think probably it's probably appropriate to start with independence. This is our 50th anniversary of our nation's independence. I think Carriacou commenced its independence celebrations. We have our own celebrations up here. And so I think the ministry, there are a number of activities that are planned, and commenced, I think, the last Sunday, about 2 Sundays ago. There was a health walk which I took part in, which was really nice. I enjoyed it. And I think there was a church service on Sunday, pretty much on Sunday. I was unable to attend because of Ireland, but I think everything went well. So Carriacou has commenced with his celebrations in terms of independence. I think the only really issue I think that is lagging and is somewhat evident, is just in terms of being an opportunity to have people more inclusive. I think there are concerned persons indicating not probably hearing about the events and when it is scheduled for. So probably there might be some work in terms of getting the information out there so that people can partake and things like that to create that sense of unity as is embedded in our team. And so I think that is one of the issues that is present. And as you see from our party, we have put out a release indicating that particular incident, activity yesterday in terms of the pin distribution, where members of parliament on the opposition side, I think didn't get an opportunity to partake in distributing pins. I mean, there are several schools around there, and so I think there's an opportunity for everybody to participate and to show a great sense of unity, at least from the parliament side. I think that was a missed opportunity by the government to not really do that. I mean, that is simple, that is easy, that could have been done. I think even other members, even the agriculture rep, the rep from Labour, they too should have also been included as the entire parliament. I think it would have been a nice opportunity for the entire parliament to participate in the distribution of pins to our secondary school students yesterday. But that didn't go that way. And so I think it's going to be opportunity. So those little.
But that is used as the Cox. If I touch chiming on you here just a minute, the issue of the pinning and not being invited, is it a miscommunication or something of the sort that occurred, or was it that you folks were just not invited at all?
Well, I was notified via the National Celebration Committee, which I'm a part of, about the event. But I'm not thinking it's not just an invitation. I think it was more for all members to participate in it.
Okay.
Like, for example, there are 2 secondary schools in Carriacou. Myself could be at one, and the parliamentary rep could be another. We are the 2 members of parliament in Carriacou, for Carriacou and Climatic. So I didn't see that as an issue. I think there was a good opportunity to show that level of unity, and so that didn't happen. I think also what you want at this point in time is to show that celebrations of our independence transcend beyond the politics. So I think that was a little misstep on their part, and I think you need to show the public there must be a demonstration of unity, and it's not just be spoken, but it must be demonstrated. So I think that was a missed opportunity there to do that. I think we had a previous parliamentary engagement where both myself and the current rep for Carriacou and Climatic represented the parliament at both secondary schools at different times. So it is something that has been done in the past, and I think it all goes well for showing that level of unity at this point in time. So I think it was a missed opportunity. All
right. Now, there's been a lot been spoken about in terms of some of the major infrastructure projects that are taking place in Carriacou. We heard the minister speaking about them. How are those things? What are some of the concerns about those major infrastructure projects that are taking place inside of Carriacou that you may like to speak of?
Well, I did my recent budget presentation. I did raise some concerns, and I did also give some recommendations as to how those concerns can be addressed. I don't want to be seen as if I'm just opposing or objecting to certain things without giving a recommendation as to why and stating why those things should be done the other way around. But I think those projects, it's just beginning of the year, so they're probably just starting the back, but I haven't seen any new projects coming for the years yet. So it's early time. The budget is just about to be implemented. So I wouldn't speak too much to those projects, but still remain the vexing issue of the Dumfries housing project and the way some persons who had an opportunity to get a space to house their family that was severed from them. It was taken away from them. And I think that still remains a vexing issue. And we have heard the government announce plans to do the Project 500 finally. I think that is welcoming news. And so I am of the view and do hope that KRFO is part of Project 500, ensuring that a portion is carved out for KRFO, because we do have housing needs here in KRFO as well. And I think, and I wish I did said from before, I don't think that there was a need to take back units from persons who were previously given an opportunity to have those units, but persons who are desirous of having and didn't get a chance would now benefit under the Project 500, which is coming on stream. So that was my take, and I still think it's a vexing issue. Persons are very much disappointed who have been taken away the opportunity of having the unit. The government had announced the new approach in terms of how the units are going to be allocated to persons. They're going to be mortgage to them. I do not know what is the uptake on it. We are hoping that the government will come out sometime soon to give some information on this. It's that people moving soon in those units, but they have taken a vastly different approach, one which should require more financial demands and persons who want those units, and maybe more financial discipline in terms of being able to hang on to those units. I think there are a lot of information that persons who are desirous of going for those units through the mortgage approach, they have to get themselves up to in terms of the life insurance and property insurance and all those things, part of a mortgage. So it's a new approach, and so let's see. We do have our own challenges in terms of the persons who really need the houses. I think they are being carved out of it inadvertently, just by them using this approach in terms of the mortgages. So there still lies the challenge, there still lies the concern of persons who really in need of housing, need of space to put themselves and their kids, may not be able to access those units based on the new policy that the government has proposed. So we still await, we'll see how that goes. But there is also another issue, and I need to speak about it, because I think if it was an error, I would like for us to correct it, and that has to do with scholarship. Yeah, I'm starting that you and some of the viewers, listeners can recall that it is customary that if government issues scholarships to needy and deserving students, it's a public information. We would need to know or have some knowledge of who are the recipients of the scholarship. And from KRFO's standpoint, I think it's a good thing for us to know. We are prideful people, and we'd love to hear who are persons who are getting an opportunity to go and study overseas. And I think that has not happened. I think last year some scholarships were given out. I think it was 4 or 5 thereabout. And we don't know. We might hear a name, but there is no confirmation in terms of who are the recipients of those scholarships. If it's a scholarship that is awarded personally by somebody or the parliamentary rep, then this is prerogative to withhold that information also. But we believe that if it is monies that is expended from the government for those scholarships, I think it's fair that the public know who those persons are, what are the areas that they're going to study. And also, I think there is some positive to it, because I know KRFOs, I know our business people. If they hear that they themselves might even chip in to give some support, so there is added benefit in terms of making the names of the persons who awarded scholarships public. So I don't know what is the reason for it being secretive or hidden. I think I beg the question. I'm somewhat lost as to why that is the case. I don't know if it's an error. When I spoke about it before, so we're really asking the government for, if they can, just let us know who are the persons who receive scholarship. And I mean, I don't see any fault in it, but I don't know. I am just a little bit perplexed as to why.
So the Cox, if I may chime in on you for a minute again, are you saying that there was no one awarded scholarships or no information pertaining to individuals who?
No information.
No information.
Yeah, the scholarships are awarded, but we don't know who are the persons. I think they gave a number. They said 4 or 5 persons are going off to study overseas. But who are the persons? What are the areas that they're going to think? What is the value of the scholarship? I think that is a normal thing to say. Well, government expended $2,000, $10,000, $20,000 in scholarships to put towards students. So I think that for me is something that I don't know why. And since last year that happens, so I don't know if scholarships are going to be awarded this year, whether or not they're going to take the same approach. But at least we want to know who are the persons. So we are yet to hear about that. So that is just one of the things that I just find a little bit perplexed. Yeah. So GD, I mean, the other and I said also in terms of Karaku, on a positive note, we have Kayak Mass 2024. So we're extending an invitation from me to the entire diaspora, and of course we have our mainland supporters. I mean, I need not say anything, but plans are already, I believe, on the way for another person to come over to the Karaku for Kayak Mass 2024. It's going to be fantastic.
All right,
great music. I really want to congratulate the artists. I mean, I've been enjoying some of the best music in recent time, and we still have an opportunity for the artists on the mainland to come and catch up on some of the rhythms. We have some good groovy rhythms, so they can come in and throw some lyrics on some of the rhythms and be part of the festival in a more direct way as well. So probably I'm putting a call to some of my artist friends, my Calypso Soca friends directly, and ask them to come and do that as well. I think it'd be good. All right. For them to participate more directly in Spice Mass 2024. So it has started. I know that there are several activities. And also, I just want to congratulate the expert guys on the foundation. That is a young soca event that they had for kids in secondary school, primary school. So that is going well. I see they have a number of artists out. So actually, the winner from last year, he won road march in Karaku. So that is a big thing. So it's looking pretty good for Spice Mass. I know that a number of persons are coming to partake in it, at the same time coming to celebrate our 50th anniversary celebration. Okay. So it's a kind of double engagement for us in that regard. So we hope that everything goes smoothly in that regard. So we are very happy to be celebrating Spice Mass 2024. 2023 was definitely a rough year for everybody. So I think it's an opportunity for us to move forward in a more positive way for 2024 and try to just to cope with some of the challenges that we all had in 2023. Okay. So for a break, let's take that break. When we come back, we should chat some more. When we come back, I want us to get into another conversation in terms of the Molyneux project. Is one of the projects that you seem to have always had a keen interest in. Let's get some information from you in terms of the progress that you've been hearing about it thus far when we do come back after this segment. Stay with us after the break, folks. We're coming right back. Don't you veer touch your dial.
Get ready to mark a historic milestone. It's the 50th anniversary of Independence Gala Cocktail and Dance, Saturday, 3rd February 2024 at the Crown Ballroom Radisson, starting at 7 p.m. for the all-inclusive cost of $500. All proceeds go towards the restoration of Government House. Secure your tickets now and be a part of history. Be there at the Radisson on February 3rd, 2024, hosted by Governor General Dame Cecile Lagranade.
Tickets available at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street and Grand Anse, the 50th Anniversary Independence Committee Secretariat on the Carenage, and online at gotofet.com.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with the NLA's exciting You Must Win promotion. Spend $15 or more in a single ticket purchase on Daily Pick 3, Daily Cash 4, or Playway, and just like that, you have chances to win prizes valued at over $100,000. Winning is easy. Simply check your tickets for the words "You won," free cash, free phones, free tablets, or free Instacash tickets. But wait, that's not all. You can also win free raffle entries for chances to win not one but 2 cars in NLA's You Must Win promotion. Promotion runs December 1st, 2023 to January 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 and over to participate. The NLA, making your Christmas and New Year dreams come true.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point for today, Tuesday. It's Opposition Tuesday here on To The Point. It's the day of the week that we invite the opposition to pop by To The Point. And with us this morning, we have Senator Norland Cox with us, representing the Sister Isle of Carriacou from the opposition party here in Grenada, the NNP. Senator Cox, we want to talk about, of course, the Millennium Project. Seems to be always a passionate project of yours, since being part of the previous administration. There's always be a concern of yours from that. Let's hear about the progress thus far. We have heard from the contractor of that particular project speaking about the completion date sometime in November. That's November of 2024. Tell us thus far any concerns that you may have about it still, or are you happy with the progress that's been made thus far with the Millennium Project? Tell us.
Look, I think just to register from my last public utterances on that project. There were no movement. So, I think not just me, I am happy, but I think the residents of Martinique and South Vineyard are happy to see what actually taking place on the project in earnest and moving forward, and some more definitive timelines have been carved out and of course have been publicized. However, I think my whole disappointment is just the misleading information. And at this point in time, I must say deliberate misleading information has been given out by government officials regarding the whole course and journey of this project. And I cannot allow that to just slip like that, because it's important that the public understand. And let me tell you something, we are not perfect. We make mistakes. And if you made a mistake, just simply say there was an error in your part. Why are you trying to create some scenario as if something was done wrong by us, and hence the reason why the project was delayed? And let me go in detail. The first issue came about when the consultant to the project, I think the company's name is Best Engineering. They're the ones were given the task to design the project, to manage the project, implement it. And when I tell you that, they do everything. They're the ones who prepare the tender document. They're the ones who tender the project. They're the ones who reviewed all the submissions, and they're the ones who make recommendations for the suitable contractor, because they are the ones who will have to work along with the contractor to implement that project. And that is how the nature of that consultancy operates. Now, when they're going to remove the guys from the project. For whatever reason, they remove them. And by removing them, by virtue of doing that, they change the implementation plan for the project, hence causing the project to start to just go in serious disarray and making it difficult for the contractor. Now, what that resulted in the project having to stop. I think there was a change in leadership in the Ministry of Infrastructure. I think the Prime Minister came in to be the Minister of Infrastructure, and someone advised him correctly to rehire back the consultant firm, and which they did. So a new design now had to be be done. And so what does that mean? That means that this project has serious cost overruns. I think initially the project was to cost between the range of $8 to $10 million EC. I'm quite certain it will go over that, and I would probably love to hear the ministry come with and give an actual cost of what the cost would be now to complete that project. So you have serious cost overruns due to just, I would say, negligence. So one of a better word. That was unnecessary to remove them. So I'm hearing, I think the Minister for MIT mentioning something about when you design it better than the first one. What is it that you're implying? It is the same design firm that designed the first one. It's the same design firm that designed the second one. So I don't know what is implying by saying that they have a better design now. I am lost. I don't understand. It's the same design firm, because you mess things up. They now have to come and redesign to treat with the destabilizing slope, which also is still a major concern, to keep that slope stabilized. Because, God forbid, we wouldn't want, after the road opening, we have another incident again. And so that is something I know that they are working diligently to see how they can ensure that slope remains stabilized after it was been disturbed by the Ministry of Infrastructure trying to bench the slope, which was not necessary and which was an ill-advised infrastructural approach. So that is what happened. And I'm happy that they are back and everything seemed to be back on stream. I did hear the contractor mentioning, and also I think government official mentioning, about having this lookout and that. All that was part of the initial design, that they were going to have a two-tier out loop so that persons can walk on a particular pathway separating apart from the road and overlook the view for the seawater and whatsoever. All that was part of our community presentation before the project contract was signed some months ago, more than a year ago, right in Molina, right at the project site. We had, I believe, 2 or 3 community meetings with the residents, the contractors. We had a meeting with the last of the contractors, because after engaging the contractors, then we had the final meeting with the committee and the contractors to present final design. The consulting firm was there as well. Final design, what is it going to look like? So when I hear talking about all this stuff, all that was part of the original design. I just want to really make it clear. And as a consequence of Norland, we have a beautiful facility in the Mount Kuma Road. So all that is part of that project initiative to help ease up the traffic going through Mount Morris and Jones Road. Those roads are not designed for taking those heavy traffic that they're taking right now. So Mount Kuma Road is operational, and that has eased the burden somewhat. And so we are very hopeful that we can get this project completed on or before the end of this year, guided that we do not have any major weather setbacks. As you know, we have hurricane season coming up later on in the year, so that will be a major challenging period for the contractors. I believe that once they work speedily, I know what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to expedite so that they are particularly above ground, so that even if you have heavy downpours, it wouldn't hinder them as much as it would if they are below ground. So they are working on the foundation now, trying to get up to speed so they can get up to level. So if we do get some heavy rains, or if we do have any tropical storm also, that will not handle them too much, and they should be able to meet the completion deadline sometime in November, I believe that they're looking at.
All right. Senator Cox, let me chime in on you. Senator Cox, let me chime in on you for one sec. In relation to the design, you mentioned it's similar. Are you saying from your information that the new design is no way different from the design that the previous administration approved?
No. The design will be different, but the point I'm making is that it is the same design firm. So it is the same firm that designed the first one, but what happened? It is because that they fired the consulting firm, all right, they who designed and also was managing the project, they fired them. And then they went and interfered with the implementation. They didn't follow the design implementation plan. And that created this slope to be destabilized. So then now, after they rehire them, On Covenant side, they realized that, look, you would have gone cut where you're not supposed to. Hence, this current design cannot work in its current construct. Hence, we have to redesign this to ensure that the project is safe. And so that is how a new design came about. It came about as a result of the Ministry of Infrastructure going and doing what was not initially called to be done. That is the main issue. That is the main issue. And that is the issue. Everything centers around the removal or the firing of the consultant from the project. And that action has cost us millions. And that is the issue. That is the issue. And serious delays, that project should have already been completed. Delays with significant cost overrun. So I just wanted to make that clear because I'm hearing talking about some pipe bus and some pipe bus. But that is other rubbish. That has nothing to do with no pipe. Yeah, that has to do with no pipe. That's all.
All right.
So I just wanted to clear that up. Yeah.
All right. We drew for a break. As soon as that Cox has taken, we're coming back and we should chat some more. It's 30 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour. We take a short break, folks. We'll be right back. Stay with us here on To The Point for today, Tuesday, the 16th. We'll be right back.
Men, unfortunately, are just delinquent in looking after their health.
Our health, our good health is our responsibility, not your wives or your doctors or anybody else. The wives will support you, but the buck stops with you. It's your life.
I encourage all our men, wherever you are in the Caribbean, to start getting your screening done, and hopefully the life you save might be your own.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
Feel good facts.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to those of you via social media platforms. Welcome back to The Point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV, Tuesday, the 16th day of January, folks. And it's Opposition Tuesday here. And with us this morning, we have Senator Norland Cox with us this morning representing the opposition. Senator Cox, our next, of course, level of discussion this morning is the crime situation. That's always seemed to be a concern, for especially from the opposition and Grenadians as a whole. We always will be concerned about crime. Now, it's just 16 days into 2024, and we have heard already some of course issues that have already taken place. What are some of these concerns from the opposition that you will want to speak of this morning?
Well, I think that these concerns regarding illegal guns and crime, or the increase thereof of those activities, it's not just an opposition concern. It's a national concern. It's a national concern in the context of business community. They are concerned because they have a lot to lose, especially for businesses that are attached to the hospitality industry. They are very concerned. And sometimes their concern may not meet the place that it's supposed to in a timely manner. And sometimes they believe that persons who are supposed to react or respond to those issues are applying to do so, and they're probably looking and not seeing. But we believe that, and from our understanding of the nature of issues like crime, if you do not try to respond and arrest them quickly, they can quickly escalate and difficult to pull back. And so what we have heard, from my recollection, and I stand corrected, the only initiative that I've heard announced via the Parliament, via the House of Representatives, from the Minister responsible, Minister and Prime Minister responsible for national security, is that there are plans from the standpoint to strengthen the laws for illegal guns in the country. That is all that I've heard. We believe that is woefully inadequate in terms of a response or in terms of a plan. If there are other plans, we haven't heard them. We do not think that will do anything right away, immediate, to address the current issues that we are having. I've heard and seen the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, who spoke on this matter of guns, and there seemed to be some degree of concern or fear in his utterances, but the responses do not look the same. And so I think they have to start acting now. The government need to start acting now. If it means bringing support from outside, from other countries who have expertise in dealing with this issue, they need to do that now. I can tell you, I live in Carriacou, and Carriacou is, it's like a gem. It's pristine. We wouldn't want any issue of violence. That would just change the whole outlook of our island. So I am telling you, this is a major concern for every single person. I believe that we need to act now. We have not seen any meaningful response from government as yet. And you know what is most interesting? There is always this talk about the transformation agenda. But I don't know if the Prime Minister and his cabinet and supporters of the National Democratic Congress understand that the biggest threat to the transformation agenda is this issue of increasing crime in our country. So I don't know how you're going to have any meaningful transformation of our people when this thorn is growing in our side without any response. Talking would not resolve this. It requires swift, specific, and purposeful action, and we have not seen anything of that nature. And we are very hopeful that some action are going to be taken in the not too distant future. Otherwise, we are going to have an issue. I was a little bit disappointed because previously when I looked at the Prime Minister speaking on it, I get a sense that he feels a strong sense that it's something that he wants to address. But recently, I think at the budget debate in the Parliament, I was very disappointed with his utterances on the said matter, somewhat dismissive in a way as to crime is increasing around. If we don't think that it will get here now, I thought this to be very inappropriate. I don't think that was the right approach. You are the leader. You are the person in charge. And uneasy is the head that wears the crown. And we have an issue of crime. And you are the leader, and it has to be dealt with. And it is your responsibility, not just as the Prime Minister, but also the Minister for National Security, to address it as quickly as possible. And you have to put it on the top of the agenda, top priority, to ensure that Grenada continue to sustain itself and to be proud in terms of being boastful as one of the most peaceful islands in the region or in the world. So this is a big thing. Grenada, we sell Grenada on safety. That is how Grenada is sold. People come here, have fun, and go back. They can fall asleep on the side of the road somewhere, take them, put them, they could drop them at the hotel where they have to go without no issue. If something is lost, somebody will find it, drop it at the police station, they will get to them. that is the kind of people we are. And we are saying that this particular characteristic of who we as Grenadians, Caragouans, and Pidimanticans is under threat. And you are the person in charge. So it is not acceptable to say that it will get you eventually, and it's like, well, it's not your fault. We are not saying that it is your fault. We are saying that you have the responsibility. You ask the nation for this responsibility to lead us at this point in time. And so if this is an issue that have to be dealt with, you have to deal with it. We who are in governance, the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell was the Prime Minister during COVID. We didn't ask for COVID. We didn't complain about COVID. We acted, we responded, we took actions. Some of it was discomforting for people, but we did in the interest of safety. And so we are saying, you have, the Prime Minister have to respond. You have to do it now.
Senator Cox, let me also chime in on you a wee bit.
Very, very serious matter.
Let me also, Senator Cox, let me also ask you this. Some would say that in relevance to crime in Grenada, we are still at a pretty small scale in terms of the crime that we see here. Even though it's important that, crime is crime, some folks would say, if we go to compare it with other countries of the Caribbean, where crime has escalated to a level that is worrisome. With the minimal crime that we do have in Grenada, yes, it's a concern. Now, what course of action would you like to see the authorities take to get that downward curve in terms of crime from an opposition perspective?
All right. So before I go on to give maybe a pathway in terms of recommendation, now, no crime ever start big. It always starts small. I do not believe that the amount of murders that we have in Trinidad and other countries on an annual basis started like that. It will start small. So it is not good to say that it is small, so we shouldn't bother with it with minimal crime. The question is, it is growing, and there's further evidence that it is increasing. All that we are saying is, we need to arrest this and get this under control before it becomes a bigger issue for us. And that is a fair and proper statement to make, because it is a concern. We are not saying that it is out of control. What we are saying that it is increasing, and it is very worrisome for persons. And so when people speak, we have to listen. And so that is the reason why we are making this call. And as regards to recommendations, I believe that the Royal Grenada Police Force have done this before. They have done this repeatedly in terms of addressing criminal issues. And they have strategic partners who there are ways to deal with this. There are approaches. There are a number of critical sectors within the country, the business community, who they can engage in terms of consulting to find out where the issues are, where some of the weaknesses are, what needs to be done. So there is what you call baseline data. There is historical information that they can use to act, but we are getting a sense that there is no action. And I think maybe one of the reasons for that is because of this somewhat public issue that is masking our Royal Grenada Police Force at this current time. We see on social media, we hear public, of issues within our security sector. So that in itself may be contributing to this lack of response. That is the case. All that has to be addressed. And so I am saying this, that there is information, that there are persons within the Royal Grenada Police Force who have the competency to deal with it. They just need to get the directive to act. And so I think we need to start there. And if there's a requirement for us to go outside of Grenada to get the help, then we do so. And we have strategic partners, security partners throughout the region who can assist. As it is said, it is not bad as in some other countries, but it is growing, and we just need to arrest it.
Senator Cox, are you saying that the Royal Grenada Police Force is incapable of managing crime in Grenada? Are you saying that?
Well, not just managing crime. We have a high crime solving rate, and because of that, it means that we do have competencies to know how to deal with some of the things. And we need to start home first. Pull all the baseline data, get all the information in terms of where the issues are coming. If it's an issue on the port, you put whatever measures in place to address how goods come in, how goods are managed. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science, but it requires a certain specific competencies to deal with it. So if we do not have it, I am saying that there are strategic partners that we can call on who will gladly come in the morning to help us with it. So I am saying that what I am getting a feeling that no action is being taken. And I stand corrected, but that is how we are feeling, that we are not seeing any responses. We are not seeing any responses in terms of anything specific or targeted. There well might be things taking place in the background, but we are not seeing it, and the public is not seeing it. They don't feel that the actions are responsive to what is taking place on the ground from a criminal activity standpoint.
We drew for a break. Let's take a break. We're coming right back to our viewers and listeners out there. If you do have a question or two is relevant to our conversation, we will entertain those calls when we come back in this segment. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it. Eliminate violence.
On Caribbean Passport, join us for Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. Witness the spectacle of the mass, the music and the energy. Then we'll sprint over to Barbados for the Run Barbados Marathon. It's color, revelry and tons of excitement on Caribbean Passport, right here on this station.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. We've had the final segment of today's program. We have with us this morning Senator Norland Cox. Senator Cox, we will entertain some calls from our listeners and viewers this morning. We do have our first caller. Let's go to the line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, GT and your guest, Mr. Cox, my good friend.
Good morning, and happy New Year.
Same to you, my friend. I want to ask you a question. It's just on information as I know in relation to you. What's your position on the celebrations committee? Are you a member?
Pardon me?
Yes, are you a member on the celebrations committee?
I did say initially, yes, when I started the National Celebrations Committee, yes.
So if you are part of that planning committee, on that committee, I'm somewhat baffled to understand why you all, in your planning stage, did not include, and it is part of the policy Yes, sorry for that noise. It is somewhat baffling to because I understand and know that the Prime Minister who heads the government of Grenada, and it is part of policy for him, including the opposition. Because right now you are a senator and you are enjoying salaries that you did not used to enjoy before. In terms of the funding for the constituency, I know all of those things are in place and it is assisting the opposition. So it somewhat baffles me to know that pinning ceremony thing, you being part of that planning ceremony, that your party or the opposition was not fully informed by you in terms of the attending and participating, because if you are not there, obviously you cannot participate in terms of the pinning. So that has somewhat baffled me. But the other point that I want to raise, though, is that of the Molineux situation. I don't know if...
I'm not hearing the caller clearly, but I didn't hear the issue clearly that you're going to read.
No, I'm saying...
I'm not hearing it clearly.
I'm saying, Mr. Cox, that if you are part of the planning committee, of the celebrations committee, you are in a best place to inform your members as to what is planned. And if you have gotten an invitation or to attend the ceremony,
the National Celebrations Committee is separate and apart from parish committees. So there are a number of other committees in the community that is planning those activities. And so some of the persons on the National Celebrations Committee will only know of those activities after they are planned and then report back to the National Committee. The National Committee deals with the bigger issues, but the small village stuff, there are separate committees who deals with that. So I just wanted to clear that up. Yeah?
Okay, now I guess we have lost a caller there also. 435. There's also another question.
Yeah, it wasn't clear. I mean, I don't know if you've heard if there's anything that he mentioned that you want me to elaborate on, but I'm happy to.
Well, basically, the caller was saying. Basically, the caller was saying, "No, you being part of the celebrations committee and the issue of the pinning, the ceremony that took place yesterday in terms of the pinning ceremony, and where your organization was saying that you were not invited. He's actually saying that maybe you were the one that didn't inform your organization in terms of what's taking place, being part of the national organization. I couldn't remember clearly in terms of what he was mentioning.
Well, I'll tell you, as I told you, we only receive that information via WhatsApp. I only received via WhatsApp on I think it was Sunday or Saturday from Monday, but I didn't give any details as to who is going to what school. So that is what I think the leader of His Majesty's opposition was saying, that the parliament is there, and if you, just like how we receive, each and every one of us, our members of parliament have received an invitation to attend the Carrefour Parish celebration from the parliament. So that is a normal thing, all right? That is a standard to the parliament to deal with that. So for example, if the leader of His Majesty's opposition were to go to, say, Happy Secondary School to give out pins, that wasn't communicated. No information was given as to who should go where are they going to receive the pins. Just to tell you, I have never received a pin. I have never received an official T-shirt, whether to purchase or to. I haven't received that. I know they just come on island. I mean, I don't have anything 50th celebration as yet. I'm hoping that when I go on the mainland sometime during the course of the week, I'll get an opportunity to get a hold of those.
All right.
So I am saying that there is an opportunity, was a missed opportunity to have, that's what I'm saying, to have a nice showing of both houses of parliament, not just opposition senators, but also independent senators, to participate as a parliamentary activity in terms of handing out pins at requisite or different secondary schools throughout the island. I think it was a very good initiative. I'm not condemning the initiative, but the point I'm making is that there was an opportunity for all members of parliament to do so on this 50th celebration. That is all I'm saying.
Senator Cox, we do have another caller. Let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Sure.
Yes, good morning, and good morning to the Senator. Last night, on Beyond the Headlines, Senator, the leader of Her Majesty's opposition, the party that you are part of, that he is head of, made a comment about the presence of ISIS in Grenada. I think that was unfortunate, and I don't know if you know anything about that, but that, I guess, leads to the citizens of Grenada being disturbed. So I don't know how you can talk to this morning to alleviate, and if that so, then the security, he should be called in by the security to answer for saying that on national television. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you heard what the caller mentioned. Did you?
Yeah, just quickly, I barely heard it. The
caller mentioned something of the issue that they, of course, the leader of the opposition mentioned of ISIS in Grenada via his program. I'm not sure.
I haven't. I mean, I listened to the program as well, and I think that is the first time I heard it from when he mentioned it last night. So I am not aware. I do not have any information. I never heard that, and so. I can't respond. The first time I heard it was last night. Yes, on the program as well, just when he heard it. So.
Let's entertain another caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Gigi, and good morning to Senator Cox. Senator Cox, the last time I had to refer to your leader of having lied to me, even in the church. And it seemed as though I would have to say the same thing of you on the GBS. Now, you are a representative of the National Organizing Committee to plan the 50th anniversary of independence. And you're saying to me that you forgot, or you did not, or you neglected to inform the leader of the opposition of certain activities taking place? Senator Cox,
Let me clarify. I think you.
Let us be honest. Let us be honest, yes, Senator Cox. You are part of the structure.
Message. Let me just
you are part of the structure of the organizing committee.
Night, a Sunday night.
Mr. Cox and the caller, both of you are speaking at the same time, so it's a bit of difficulty in hearing them. So is either one? Could I just let the caller finish and then you will respond?
He's insinuating that I'm lying about something.
I guess we have lost the caller.
That because I said I did receive a WhatsApp message indicating that pins were going to be handled at secondary schools by the MPs. There was not a list of which schools, who are going to go where, nothing of the sort. There was no information indicating whether or not I should be at a particular school. I think a time was given, and there was no indication that members of the opposition should be at a particular school. So that wasn't part of the message. I'd say it was a WhatsApp message. Yeah.
Okay, let's entertain another call. I guess we lost that caller there. We have approximately 2 minutes left on today's program, 435-2041. Senator Cox, there's a question here from someone asking in relation to the Monkuma Road. And the individual is saying now they're noticing a lot of patchwork on the new Monkuma Road. Would it? They say, what are the cause for this new road? It would need patches. And so quickly, is it because of shortcuts or flawed design or reasons for that?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't know what patches there might be. But I won't say shortcut. There are no shortcuts when you're doing something like that. There's a requirement for the concrete to be tested in terms of compression, a particular strength. But I don't know about any patches.
Okay.
So that is something I have to see where it's at, so I can see if it's something that was left undone or there's some defect. But with every project, if I might add, there is what you call a defect liability period, which extends in a project of that size, I think, is about a year. So after, I think, 6 months to a year, any work to be done on the road, if there is any defect, the contractor is liable for doing so, and not the government. So,
okay.
So that I can't speak to. Yeah.
Let's take our final caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to Mr. Cox. He seems to be some problem with hearing the callers. I hope you hear me this morning. Mr. Cox, I want to ask you, do you have any confidence in the police force right now? Asking you this question. And Mr. Cox, just imagine Grenada celebrating 50 years. If we think about the things that Grenada do to all of us, I don't think we should wait for an invitation to take part in her 50 years celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Senator Cox, you want to respond to the call in any way? I'll get some closing remarks before we take a wrap for this morning.
I didn't hear the last part of her comment. If you could read the last part of her comment.
She was actually saying, is it necessary for us receiving an invitation in order to partake in any of the 50th, anything that referred to a 50th anniversary of independence?
Well, our invitation is more is like information, because you need to know where something is happening, what time you need to be there. And what sort of a setting it is in terms of whether it is formal, whether it is informal, so you will know how to dress, you will know how to prepare. So within that context, I went and I did the independence walk. I was on the walk. So it's a walk. So if I don't know if it's a walk, I wouldn't expect to show up wearing jacket and tie. So it is for those reasons. You need to know. I received an invitation with a long list of activities for Kiaraku. So whatever that I'm available to attend, I will attend. And so it is not issue about the invitation, but it is having information to know where, when, what is expected of you. If it's just for you to show up, if it's for you to give a speech, if you need to handle something or to read a scripture. That is all I think that is being said, and I don't know why it shouldn't be like a big thing, but I'm just saying that I think it was a great missed opportunity. I think it would be a fantastic thing to see all members of both houses just doing this around the island. It would just be a wonderful story, and that is all that I'm saying.
Okay,
I just say there's a missed opportunity, and there is an opportunity. If there is an opportunity for that to happen again going forward, then I'm just saying in the context that we shouldn't let it pass. And so it's not a, So I just find that.
So let's entertain our final caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Oh yes, good morning, GT, and happy New Year to you, and blessed New Year to the nation.
Same to you, sir.
Good morning to Senator Cox.
Good morning, sir.
Right. No, I'm hearing so much. And I wish for this year, the whole of this year, 2024, we could leave all the political rhetoric and slants behind and let us deal with the most important thing, the economy. Because no one is talking about the economy. The gun crime is rising, and so forth. Where is it coming from? What is causing this? Let me tell you something. If we fail to extend, to grow the economy pertinent to be creating jobs, to occupy the young people, to give them something to go forward, this crime can only escalate. And please, pay attention to Trinidad and Jamaica. I've been saying that for many, many years. We are not catering for the development of the citizens. And that's the reason why the distress is taking over. This 24, we should focus on growing the economy, right? Exponentially, as we normally said, to create jobs. Give the business people a space to create jobs, to expand the businesses, so that we can employ the young people and people who need jobs to create revenue. We can't go spending, and we don't know how the revenue is coming from, where the revenue is coming from, how the revenue is going to come in. So let us leave the political rhetoric behind for this year, and let's see if we could focus on the well-being of people and the growth of the economy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Senator, do you want to respond to the caller and give us some closing remarks so we can take a wrap?
I would love to respond. I think it's a wonderful way to possibly close the program. The caller is absolutely right. Because I didn't speak on the economy today because I want to offer a bit of fairness on the part of the government as they start the budgetary cycle for 2024, and just to see how they implement going forward. So that is why I didn't really want to to speak on it, but the caller is absolutely right. The economy plays a key role in reducing the acts of crime and also creating the job opportunities for young people. And that can only be done through growing the economy. The caller is absolutely right. So there's not much more that I wish to add on that at this point in time, but it is something that I would definitely speaking on it a lot during my budget presentation in terms of why some of the initiatives, why some of the projects and the importance of it and the impact that it has. I did spoke a lot in terms of the recurrent side of the budget and the capital side of the budget. And once there's a disparity in both, you're going to have challenges. So we could speak more about that going forward. But the caller is absolutely right. And I just want to say to the caller, I do not really traffic too much in any political rhetoric. I mean, it's just that sometimes it's important to point out some stuff that are a little bit, the person they do it in a kind of petty way. So something just saying to point it out that we ought not to do that. There is an opportunity for us to do it better. So I just think that it's important. I use this opportunity to raise that. So as I say, I don't traffic in political rhetoric. I just deal with stuff as they come. So thank you for that.
All right. Any closing comments on you, Senator Cox, before we take a wrap?
Yeah, well, GT, I want to close as our start. I want to close on Carnival. You know, this is Carnival is in the air, and we have our independence celebration, of course. It's a momentous time for Grenada. And I think if anybody or any party have a lot more to celebrate for this 50 years is the new National Party. We have contributed significantly to the growth and development of Grenada. There are a number of infrastructures that can speak to that. There are a number of facilities, a number of institutions that are present that we are part of growing and part of sustaining over the last 50 years. And we are happy. I'm happy to be part of that. So we all have something to celebrate. So I call on everybody to come out, support wherever you can, attend wherever you can, our celebrations. This is about Grenada. As the caller said, this is not about this transcend politics. And so we want everybody to celebrate as much as they can in their own way and to support the activities planned in every way possible that they can. And so also, Caracol Carnival, Spice Mass, Kayak Mass, Carnival is a big thing for this country. We have two great carnivals, starting with Spice Mass in February. It's going to be good. We just wanted to come back to the issue of safety again. We want to be good, clean, fun. And we're inviting everybody to come over to Caracol. I know there are concerns in terms of accommodation. Just come. You'll find some place to stay. Don't worry about where you're going to stay. Just come. Caracolas, we are welcoming. We'll find some place to put you up for you to have a wonderful experience for Kayak Mass 2024.
Thank you once again.
The invitation is also extended to you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you once again, Senator Norland Cox, for being on the program this morning. Best wishes for the rest of the day, and all the best to you and all the folks inside of the Sister Isle of Carrick.
A pleasure as well. Pleasure. I look forward, and I want to thank all the callers who call in and raise their concern and their recommendations. Without their contribution, this program would not be what it is, and this country would not be where it is without persons giving, contrasting. And so this is important.
All right.
And so I want to thank them. Yeah.
Thank you so much also. Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for today's program. Up to the point, thank you once again, all who contributed some way or the other. Have yourself a good one, folks. Join us again for another edition of To The Point. Most likely tomorrow we'll have another edition for you. Tomorrow will be government side of On To The Point, and we should have a representative here. Until then, have yourself a good one. That's where I say goodbye.